Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, esteemed members, guests, students, we're so glad to welcome you to the Southern California Chapter Meeting for International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners. This is got to be the biggest month for Microsoft. Why?
Fourth quarter ending.
Fourth quarter, everybody's trying to sell. Can you get them on the phone? No, they're busy. Can you send them an email? Yeah, but it gets lost. That's okay. We're all trying to finish strong, and we're all here to help each other as partners. So here's our agenda for the day. I hope you started networking already. If you didn't, we're going to force you to do it a little bit later. That's all good. We're going to go through some announcements for the Americas. We're going to bring up our sponsor for a special presentation, talk a little bit about the philanthropy that the chapter endeavors. Then we're going to spend a good chunk of time on the chapter announcements. And then we're going to bring up our experts on cybersecurity. Thank you guys for being here. And then we're going to have our members meet here in the room, introduce each other. That's that forced networking I was talking about. And we'll ask our guests to meet up with our students and our membership chair. Then we're going to do a survey, fill out a raffle, get a photo op. I made a nice slide so our heads aren't cut off by the light. We're going to be all good. And then you're welcome to hang out with us here for networking afterwards. So if you don't go home with 3 business cards today, consider yourself a failure. So let's dive right in. What's going on with the Americas? We are the International Association. None of this is possible without our sponsor. So I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm going to name a sponsor. I want you to give me one fast clap, okay? Sophos, Appmeetup, Azamba, Women in Cloud, Microsoft, Bigger Brains, Redmond Partner Group, SEDS, Maven Collective, BCPA, Partner One, Dex AI, the Wave Network, Transact, Proactive, New Horizons, Flip Training, AIM International, Reveal, and the Literanka Group. Yes. Thank you to all these sponsors. They make all of this work for all of us, subsidizing the volunteer work that we do for you. And of course, your brand could be here too. Just have a conversation with the mighty Fred Cooper. Speaking of sponsors, what do all of them have in common? Well, yeah. What else do they provide you as members?
Discounts.
Boom, discounts. We like to call them perks. Here's one right here, Bigger Brains. Chip Reeves, I met him at the Illuminate National IAMCP conference back in March in Dallas. He lives in North Carolina, and he's been assembling a world-class set of online video tutorials and training, award-winning, as you can see here. As a member, you get a 10% discount on all subscriptions. Plus, you get 10 free licenses inside. So you can use it, you can show it to your customers and help them through the process of learning. That's the link you see there, and that's the QR code that takes you to their site. Another great sponsor of ours, who knows Paul Solsky? There's a ton of people who do. Why? Because he's at everything. He helps support our POGs. That's not a game with cards and things you bang on the table. A POG is a partner opportunity group. He supports those at the international level. He's been the international president of the organization, and he's our partnering chair at the national organization. Lives up in Seattle. And if you're looking to build out your partner channel and pipeline, he's the man to talk to. There's his email address and his QR code right up there. So what's going on in the wonderful world of IAMCP? Our profiles and partnership podcast, the POGs I just mentioned, that's what it looks like. Oh, who was at the mixer with WIT, PDA, and IAMCP? What'd you think?
I loved it. Great conversation. The women were dynamic. Yeah. The men helped on all the conversations and just loved it.
Yeah, it's allies too. Yes. Oh, I'm stretching my arm. Okay, cool. Ignition Accelerator, the partnering workshops, plenty more. So if you want to know what's going on, go to our website, click the Connect tab, click Calendar to pop it up, or you can take the shortcut with that QR code right there. So speaking of the Profiles and Partnership podcast, who's our man? Where is Fred Baba E? What's going on with the Partners and Partnership, Profiles and Partnership podcast?
Great. We just had our third podcast.
Don't tell me, tell them.
Yeah, okay, just last week. And we have the fourth one coming up in about a couple of weeks. And the fifth one we are working on as well. We are hoping to have 10 episodes by end of the year. Doing great.
Yeah, thank you. And there's also the national and international organization also put these on. They're available on your favorite channel. You pick it, you click it. Oh, geez, Louise, what's this? So the national has asked me to repeat the not the keynote, but one of the workshops I did at the Illuminate conference for all of you. And so that's set up. You can get to that. Where's my little, I don't have my QR code on there. Nuts. But reach out to me. It's on the calendar. If you have any questions, coming up on Wednesday, July 2nd. Then if you want to get involved with the diversity initiative that we have going on, this again extends all the way up to the international level, despite any politics at any nation, it's still ongoing. So we believe in these values for inclusion, equity, advocacy, and community. And if you want to get involved, there's plenty of organizations supporting this, including WIT, Voices for Innovation, Black Channel Partner Alliance, and Women in Cloud. And if you're interested in the WIT network, I didn't know this until March, but the WIT network actually grew out of a committee started here in IAMCP. And now it's huge, it's thriving. So if you want to connect as an ally or as a member, this is the code you can get for $10 off an individual membership, Twin 2025. And there's the QR code for that.
Hey, Jason,
Yes, real quick.
so for those who don't know, WIT Network is basically Women in Tech. So the event that we had back in the 27, where you guys were there, it was basically to promote, I believe this is a movement with women in tech, and we need the ladies in this sector, so let's support, right?
Thank you, Felly. And if you don't know Felly, go over and shake his hand at the end of the day. And do yourself a favor, if you don't know Fred, which is a very hard slice of people to find, shake his hand too. They know everyone. Okay, now we're getting into our sponsor presentation. Let me tell you a little bit about our sponsor, a seasoned business professional with 3 decades of experience expanding the semiconductor industry, business consulting, IT solutions, 16 years in senior roles at Advanced Micro Devices, Rockwell Semiconductor Systems, and Connexent Systems, where he led global marketing, sales, and business development initiatives, driving product lines to over $250 million in annual revenue. This man transitioned to small and mid-sized business sector. He held a variety of general management and consulting roles. As a certified executive coach, he's worked closely with business owners and leadership teams to optimize operations, increase profitability, and build scalable growth strategies. He served as general manager in several privately held companies where he oversaw full P&L accountability, led cross-functional teams, and developed hands-on expertise in navigating the unique challenges and opportunities of the SMB landscape. He currently serves as the Director of Business Development for Greystone Technology, executive coach, and former semiconductor executive. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Somo.
Wow, what an intro. It failed to mention that I am also the president of ABAM, which is the Association of Bald American Men. I see I have several fellow members here today, so I'm glad our constituency showed up. Just as a quick show of hands, how many MSPs do we have? How many people here are in an MSP or work for an MSP? Okay, so good chunk, not surprising. So I am As it says, I am the Director of Business Development at Greystone Technologies. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Greystone today. We are an IT managed service provider, so I don't think there's a lot I need to explain to a lot of people in this room. I think everybody understands what an MSP is, what they do. But I'm going to try and give you a little bit about Greystone and our organization and maybe a few things that make us a little bit different or some things we do a little bit differently than others. And then hopefully have some time to have some questions and just talk about how maybe I could partner with you, how I could maybe help you as well. Okay, so first and foremost, Greystone was founded on the principle that the IT industry is broken. And basically what we meant by that is that our founders felt like a lot of MSPs, a lot of IT companies, and I was saying the ones in this room, I know some great MSPs in this room, I've met all of you, so I'm not talking about anybody in this room, but I think in general, if you go back 20 some years, there were a lot of IT companies and a lot of managed service providers that basically structured their business operations to make things as efficient as possible for themselves, and not necessarily as efficient as possible for their clients, right? They looked at internal operational efficiency as the key goal, you know, trying to maximize their ROI, that sort of thing, but they didn't look at what really works for their clients themselves. And so Greystone was kind of founded on the, you know, breaking that premise and trying to do things that help our clients more than help us. We've been doing this for over 24 years. We're a very large organization, so we have over 180 people nationwide. We've got offices in California, Washington, Idaho, Michigan, Tennessee, New Jersey. So we have a pretty large footprint nationally, and we've had a lot of recognitions, a few that we're proud of, Channel News, Tech Elite 250, top 500 solution providers, et cetera. But the ones that I like to highlight the most are the best places to work. So we were identified as best places to work both in Orange County and in Denver for our 2 different locations. And it's something that allows us to sort of attract and retain sort of the best people. So a lot of times challenges you find with IT providers, they have a lot of churn and burn in their personnel. And we don't have that a lot because it is a good place to work and it's a good environment to be in. And we do facilitate growth for our people. So we're able to recruit good people and we're able to keep them. In addition, Greystone is also part of a private equity-backed MSP platform called New Charter Technologies. So there's a little bit of stats on New Charter Technologies. We have over 1,000 employees in 45 locations nationwide. And basically, the long story short on this slide is that we're trying to provide the best of both worlds. So local delivered service with national backing. And that national backing could be in the way of expertise. Each MSP that was brought into New Charter Technologies was brought in for a different area of expertise beyond just their managed services and being sort of a best-in-class managed service provider in Louisiana or Boston or some other location. Each one also brings another area of expertise, which could be web design and development. It could be Power BI expertise. It could be something else, right? We've also recently acquired an AI company, and not from the perspective, a lot of people acquire AI. A lot of people bring in-house AI to try and provide services that they can sell to their clients. Right. So they're looking at, hey, how can I sell AI services to my clients and get them to adopt AI that I can get recurring revenue on? Our AI is basically internally based. It's how do we automate and make more efficient our IT operations and the service delivery we provide to our clients. So we acquired a company for the sole purpose of automating AI across the board to all 28 brands we have in our platform to make us more efficient so that we can continue to drive better support and services at a lower cost moving forward through the AI automations. Okay, we're at IAMCP. So obviously we're a large Microsoft partner. We do have solution designations in these 6 areas, as well as specialty designations for networking services in Azure Virtual Desktop. In New Charter as a whole, with all of the brands combined and all the certifications that we have throughout all of our technicians across the board, we are in the top 0.1% of all Microsoft partners in North America. Okay, so the most effective IT services, period. That is our goal. That is our stated mission, is to provide the most effective IT services. What does that mean? So to us, it means complete IT support, right? The ability to do everything from A to Z that our clients need and to provide the support they need, whether it's cybersecurity, help desk, cloud services, migrations, projects, web dev, all of those types of things. To be a one-stop shop for our clients and, for everything else that we would manage their vendors. So if they have internet service vendors, telephone providers, whatever, that we can provide everything for them. Upside down service. So this is a big thing I mentioned earlier that, we felt like the IT space was broken. If any of you have had that experience where you've ever called into any help desk support for any type of venue and you got somebody and you explained your situation and then they worked on it a while and then they transferred you to somebody else and they escalated somebody else and you had to explain your situation all over again. Then they escalated to somebody else and you explain your situation all over again and you've gone through 3, 4, 5 cycles, right? So we felt like, again, that may be efficient for our company because we can have this service desk and we give every ticket to a level 1 technician and they work on it until they realize they can't solve it. And then they bump it up to level 2 and they work on it until they can't solve it. That's efficient for us, but it's not good for our clients. So what we do is we employ an upside down service model where we have dedicated teams for all of our clients. And so that team consists of a high level technical consultant, technical engineers of different levels, 1, 2, 3, many technical engineers depending on the size of our client. And what happens is when tickets come in or help desk requests come in, service requests come in, the most knowledgeable person, the technical consultant, looks at those tickets and immediately assigns it to the person who can solve it. So you don't go through a level 1, level 2, level 3 iteration to get your problem solved. If it's a level 3 issue, it immediately gets assigned to the level 3 technician. They work on it, they solve it. So you kind of get your one-stop shopping. So that's what we mean by our upside down service model. We provide common sense cybersecurity. There are other, companies that are MSSPs, pure play. We have partners that can provide that as well, but we try and strike the fine balance between sort of risk mitigation and cost to provide the right level of, common sense cybersecurity for our clients, because obviously there's a full spectrum that can cover. And I mentioned we're a top IT employer. And then effortless experience. So I don't know if Fred's ears are going to pop up or if he's busy on his phone right now, but I'll race you to copyright that. So we talk about our effortless experience. And what we mean by effortless experience is, again, part of our upside down service model, things like that. What we're trying to do with our clients is set up a scenario where they provide the minimal amount of output from their side to get their problem solved, right? So I came from a smaller MSP in the past, and we used to do CSAT scores, right? We do a client satisfaction score after every ticket. We'd send something out with a happy, sad, or medium's face, and they were supposed to click the smiley face. Yeah, my problem got solved, or no, it didn't, or no, it's still being worked on, right? So we believe that, problems getting solved quickly and getting solved permanently are table stakes. That should happen on every single request we get. What we're more concerned about is how much effort did our clients' employees have to expend to get that problem solved? Was it they sent one email and it got covered? Did they have to talk to 3 different people on the phone? What had to happen? So when we send out surveys, we don't send out a CSAT score. We send out a client effort score, which is basically how much effort did you exert to get your problem solved? And then everything within our service line is driven by those results. If we find issues with protocols, if we find issues with processes, people, whatever it is that's causing our clients to have to expend more energy than they like, we make changes internally to adjust for that. Formatting got screwed up. All right. Okay. Regardless, we have a lot of different support models to fit different clients. So this is something that's maybe a little bit unique in the MSP space and partly driven by our size and scale. But our standard service that most of our clients are on is called Total Care. And that's where you have a dedicated team. So we would have a dedicated client success manager, a technical consultant, and a team of technical engineers, depending on the size of our client. It could be 1, 2, 3, 5, 10. It just depends on how big the client is and what their needs are. And basically, that is a dedicated team. So again, I came from a smaller MSP previously, and just by scale, we had a shared service desk. So we had 10, 15 techs, and they worked across every client we had. So their knowledge of each client was very minimal, right? They only scratch the surface because maybe they get one out of every 10 tickets. With a dedicated team, that team is very familiar with our clients' people, their processes, their systems, their infrastructure, all of those types of things, so that they're able to provide faster results for our clients, right? And understand what they're doing, right? Our CEO likes to say that good IT companies solve problems and great IT companies know what problems they're solving. So instead of just getting tickets and working on things, by understanding our clients' infrastructure, their systems, their people, their processes, their workflows, and the business outcomes they're trying to drive, we know what problems we're trying to solve. But that doesn't fit for everybody. That's not a good fit for everybody. We have a lot of co-managed clients that have internal IT teams and internal IT resources. So we provide what we call flex care. And flex care would be, we would look at our total service package, everything we could do from help desk to infrastructure to cloud, whatever it might be. And we would work with our client to say, what are you doing internally? what are you covering? What do you want us to cover? And we have a full accountability matrix where we fill out and say, okay, you want to do all the fun projects and you want us to do all the help desk stuff that you don't want, right? Great, we'll do the help desk. Or maybe you just want us to manage your cloud infrastructure and you're going to handle all the on-prem equipment. Whatever it may be, we basically work with our client to understand what it is, and then we would price and put a proposal together and say, okay, we're going to handle these pieces, you're going to handle these pieces. This is how communication flows back and forth between the organizations, between the ticketing systems, all those types of things, so that we can provide the best support possible for those clients. We also have on-demand, good old-fashioned time and materials, right? And a lot of MSPs have gotten away from this and won't do this anymore. We still do on-demand. So if you have clients that we have some clients that are smaller organizations, they can't afford that monthly bill, whatever the case may be. We'll just have them sign a one-page contract that says, if you call us out to do work, you promise you'll pay us afterwards. That's basically it. And they may call us one time a month, a week, one time a year. But there are on-demand clients, and, we can go out and service and support them on just an hourly cost basis. Okay. Behind the front level teams that our clients would have, we have specialty teams for all these other services. So I mentioned the shared services desk. That was the entire help desk in my old company. At this company, we have dedicated pods or dedicated support teams that handle our clients, but then they have a shared services team that sits behind them. So if there's ever a really heavy day of overflow and there's just a ton of tickets and a bunch of issues, or something went wrong, there's whatever happened, we have additional services we can provide to that, so we can have overflow go to our shared services desk. This is also the team that would help with like 24-hour service. So like overnight, we have a large service desk that does overnight, weekends, holidays, all those kinds of things, because obviously with dedicated teams, we can't have a team of 3 people that work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have separate cybersecurity teams, separate project teams. Again, this is something I'll just highlight as somewhat unique, is that a lot of MSPs will only do project work for existing clients. And again, at the old company I was at, that's the way it was, because we had a limited number of resources. So we weren't going to pull people off of managed clients that are paying us monthly revenue to go do a one-time cloud migration for some other client that was going to have no follow-on revenue. But we have a standalone project team, so we do one-time projects. We'll do one-off work. If anybody has something they need to do, cloud migrations, ERP migrations, whatever the case may be, server upgrades, office moves, things like that, and you just don't have the time or the resources, or maybe you're overloaded at a particular moment, need some outside help, we will do standalone one-off projects. They don't have to be clients of ours. They don't have to be managed clients. So we're happy to help in that way. Same thing when it comes for training. We have ex-Microsoft trainers on our staff that can train on all the Microsoft solutions, but they can also do custom training for you on your line of business applications, things like that. And we have a standalone dev team that does website development, web design. They can also do some application development, so like Android and iOS apps, things of that nature, separate procurement team. And then all of it runs on sort of the standard modern tool sets that most, I'm sure every MSP in here uses for, their ticketing systems, their data tracking, documentation, all of those types of things. So that in a nutshell is kind of who Greystone is and what we do. And I know that a lot of people have partners here in the MSP space. So I tried to highlight a few things where maybe we could be of service if you had, like I said, on-demand work, or somebody that you didn't want to do, or certain one-off projects or things like that, web design that maybe you don't do in-house, things like that. Happy to talk and help in any way we can, and happy to, kind of see how we could help you if there's anything that we can bring you into, because even though we do have a lot of brands and a lot of companies, we're more in the IT space. So there are other things that we, get outside and we bring in consultants, and we've worked with a lot of people. One thing I will throw out there is that part of my job on the business development side is helping enable both our sales team, our marketing team, and our client success managers be able to identify opportunities to bring in partners. So I have a bi-weekly sales enablement meeting that I run, and I've already had a couple members of this team come and speak for an hour to educate my team, my sales, marketing, and client success management team on your support and services. So things you do that we don't do, I want my team to learn that so they can be thinking about that and talking about that when they have their technology planning meetings and things like that. So if anybody has something that they think is sort of adjacent to what we do, or combines with what we do, happy to have you come to one of our meetings, present, get our team to know you, and then you have direct access to follow up with them. So, when we do these, we give access to our team and say, feel free, email our client success managers and ask if they have an opportunity, or if there's a roadmap that they can bring you into, or anything like that. So That's it for me. And any questions, anything I can answer? Yes.
Darren, are you guys all across the US? Are there specific markets? Does it matter?
Doesn't matter. We're all across the US. We do have some clients international, but mostly North America.
Can you support clients outside of the US?
We can support clients outside of the US. We don't have a ton right now. I'd say it's less than 10% have offices outside of the US, but we do have engagements outside of the US as well. Yes.
Do you have to use all the same technology that all the new charter orgs do, or?
No, that's part of one of the interesting things is part of that private equity platform is they didn't want to do a rip and replace platform, which they deemed as a lot of companies have tried to do and it failed with, where they tried to force every brand to adopt the same pricing model, the same support model, the same tool sets and all of that. Each brand has the autonomy. Now they will negotiate pricing at the new charter level, to get better pricing that everyone can take in, but it's opt-in. Right. So there are some companies that there's one company in Louisiana that they only do time and materials. They don't even offer managed services. So each company still does their own pricing for their market. And again, that's kind of what we're trying to provide, that best of both worlds. So that sort of boutique support in your market, but with some national coverage when needed. Yeah.
What's the approximate size of Greystone? I know you said 180 personnel, 130 technical engineers. How many endpoints do you guys have under management just as Greystone?
I didn't look at the Greystone on its own. I'd have to look at that and let you know. But in terms of overall size, we have 360-ish fully managed clients, and then we have on-demand and co-managed clients on top of that. So we're a little north of about 33 million a year in sales right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Darren, for sharing. You mentioned earlier about having some AI capability inside the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Always interested in use cases. Can you describe a little bit about how you guys are using AI internally?
Yeah, so I'm not the best guy to talk about this, but it's a recent acquisition called Orchestrate AI. And if you want to go up to the New Charter website, you can kind of look at it and learn a little bit more. But in short, what they're looking at is doing things within the service help desk, like creating workflows and patterns and pop-ups and things of that nature, so that when a ticket comes in, and a lot of the stuff we deal with is common tickets that occur again and again throughout the industry that we've seen before, building that knowledge base and those language models where something comes up and it basically expanding the capabilities of the text, where maybe a level 1 tech with some AI guidance, as he looks at a problem, it's going to analyze a problem. It's going to, hey, it's probably one of these 3 things, and here's the first step we would recommend. And you do this one, and then this one, and this one. So it's extending the capabilities of each person, so that in theory they can get through tickets faster and do more, where there's not sort of trial and error as much. And that's part of the challenge within any support platform, is that you're going to have different people with different knowledge, right? So Johnny may be able to solve something in 2 minutes. It's going to take 2 hours for Todd, right? And so having some commonality with that database and with past all the historical data, and they're integrating that, being able to leverage that to have suggestions and recommendations and troubleshooting and things like that to make it much faster and more efficient, right? That's one example. Anything else? All right. Well, thanks very much for listening to me today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Darren. Somo. Okay, great. So look, we're all humans. We've all got a beating heart. We actually put our foot forward to help out several organizations in our community. Are you enjoying the meal in front of you?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Because this is the organization that put it together. And I don't know, Brian, if you want to say a quick word about Kherut.
Thank you very much, Jason. And the food has improved for IAMCP SoCal quite a lot since we got Eve's help. Kherut is a nonprofit. They're focused on survivors of human trafficking. They provide survivors culinary training first, and then employment within a catering operation within the nonprofit. Statistics are, if they don't have a job, they will most likely go back to doing whatever it was that they were doing. In many cases, prostitution. So I've been volunteering for this organization since October 2023. They were once one of our clients, became a past client, and I have Been fortunate to be involved with them, doing some interesting things on a volunteer basis. So these cards are at the back. If you need something that relates to catering, for example, they're a good choice. If you need a place to show a corporate social responsibility, this is also a good choice. Thank you.
Well, Brian, why don't you stay up here and talk about how we're turning the Hyatt into a casino in October?
Maybe if Fred would join me. Okay. So I'll start briefly, and just to say that we had done a golf tournament in prior years. This year we decided to try something different, a blackjack tournament. Fred Babai is the chair, so maybe if you don't mind, I'll let you speak about the blackjack tournament briefly.
What we are planning to do with this blackjack tournament is we, of course, looked into a number of venues. Is this final now? Are we going to?
This is the way it is now.
Yeah.
Change it as
The goal is to really provide, to get community together so we can deliver some value to people who are coming to that event, and also be able to provide the outcome to the charity that we are delivering the fund to. So our goal is, again, to have as many as you guys possible to come join us, and it should be fun. And the details should be coming up very soon regarding that event.
Should be fun. Thank you, gentlemen. And if you hang around this group long enough, you'll see us involved with other charities. Ronald McDonald House of Orange County. We've got a tight relationship with them and others. So hang on. Okay, SoCal chapter, what's going on here? Well, first of all, let's talk about the fact that we have revised our value proposition to improve the degree of services that we're providing to our members, and focusing on the 3 pillars of collaboration, growth, and support. Collaboration in helping you develop partnering and strategic learning programs to increase your capacity and your ability to better serve your customer, which of course is then going to roll into growth and revenue and profits as a result of that. And then finding other ways that we can increase the value of the membership that you get, that support layer. So, how many people have joined in the last year but have not come to a new member orientation? 1, 2. Okay, good. Then I'm going to see you guys on July 3rd. It's a Teams meeting. Come on out. Hey, if you're not a member yet, but you're thinking about being one, come on that as well, because we'll go through an agenda you can see here on the right side. And tell you a little bit more about the benefits of being a member and how you can kind of tap into that. And all of the programs that we have, will go into those in depth. Instead of me just lecturing up here, it'll be a lot more informal Q&A, that kind of thing. We've got them every other month. So like we have this bi-monthly meeting in this room, the months that we don't meet, we will be doing these sessions online on that same first Thursday. So just block out the first Thursday for like the next 2 years, okay? All right. So one of the other things in increasing the value of membership that President Brian chartered upon us was to develop out this concept of strategic learning. And so we're like, how can partners grow? What are the different areas in which they might want to achieve their capacity and their ability to partner? Well, there's kind of 4 areas to it. If you think about one axis being product expansion and another being how you increase your market reach, the first box is going to be your competitive differentiation between you and your competition out there. That second box, expanding out in products, is finding new products for existing customers. Now, that's part of what Microsoft is providing to us, is pushing new releases and new products along their roadmap to build that out. If you go upwards in market, you're talking about identifying new customers for the existing products you have, which is a great component for finding partners that have their reach and their install bases. And then if you want to double down on all of that, the reason it's in orange, because it's really hard to achieve, but expanding new products for new customers, both of those initiatives in one. So how are we going to do this? Well, number one, you'll see there's a member survey QR code right up here in the corner. So I encourage you, fill that out because it's asking you specific questions about the programming that we're offering. Would this be of value? Would that be of value? What would you attend? Would you show up on the morning of one of these meetings and just kind of block out the whole day? Or would you prefer it to be some other like Friday afternoon? Oh, hell no, nobody's going to training on a Friday afternoon. But that's the thing. We're asking you all of those questions. So if you break that strategic learning down into the programs that we can provide you, one of those areas is self-assessment. So helping you analyze your finances, your marketing, your sales, your professional services, and then performing a health check on your partner program. Where is it? Do you have one? Have you built one out? How do you build one out? And those programs actually end up reaching up into the national and the international organization. That structure is already there. And then additional programming, upselling, cross-selling, reselling, co-selling, sales mastery, partnering as a practice. All these essentially are additional programs that you look to layer on top of what isn't already provided by the national and international organization. Again, your vote matters. So make sure you fill out that member survey and let us know what would be of value to you. What else is the chapter doing? Hey, we're out and about. People are interested in what we're providing. And the SMB Tech Fest, which is that quarterly conference in Irvine, has said, hey, we have a session in July that's going to be focused on AI acceleration. Do you have anybody that can come down and be a thought leader? And Feli was like, yeah, we could do that. So that's why you're going to see 2 or 3 instances of IAMCP SoCal at that event. He's working on a panel. He's working on some presentations. And we'll have more details on that. But you can go ahead and book Thursday, July 17th and Friday, July 18th. Chapter's always had a presence there. The founder of SMB Tech Fest is a past president of the chapter. So we have a really tight tie-in. Thank you, Dave Seibert. And best of all, it costs you nothing to attend. Come on down with us. They've got breakfast in the morning. They've got lunch in the afternoon. They have a happy hour in the late afternoon. I forget what happens after that. So that's a lot of fun, and you'll see a bunch of your friends from the chapter there. Okay, so another area that we're looking at, since Microsoft has laid down the gauntlet and said, how are you partners expanding out your capacity to support your customers in the field of AI? Are you building the centers of excellence? Darn it, I don't have my notes here, but there's 5 areas, which is business strategy, technology strategy, AI expertise. How are you building out these centers in your organization? This is the direction that everything is going in. So how can you increase, again, your capacity? JC Quintana. This is one smart cookie. He is an educator and author. He's a member of our Atlanta chapter. I met him at Illuminate back in March. And he did a workshop on how to break how to break into the business discussion using AI as the leverage. And that is, of course, the conversation we all want to be having with our customers. So he is coming out to do a specific workshop. It's going to be like a half-day session, Thursday, July 31st, $20 for members, $35 for non-members. You can register right there, and we'll serve lunch, and he can take you through that conceptual path of building out that capacity inside your organization. So reach out. Again, if you have questions on any of the strategic learning stuff, ask me, ask President Brian. It was his idea. And of course, we're not all amazing. We're all on our journey, working our way upwards in our careers. Our professional mentoring program is available. You can register that. You can be a mentor or a mentee, whatever you prefer. Knowledge sharing between members. And then our job search group continues to meet bi-weekly. Microsoft just had another layoff like this week, last week. So unfortunately, there's a lot of need for this particular group. If you know anybody that's in the middle of their transition or about to start a transition, they're like, dude, I've had it at this place. Need to move on. That's cool too. Refer them to this group. We meet every other Tuesday afternoon. John Pinala speaking next Tuesday, Paul Butler on the 24th on interviewing techniques. This program, of course, is intended to help not just help people through their transition, but help incorporate them into the values that we all share as members of this organization so that they can find value in it too. And if you love what you see today, which you do so far, right? Okay, good. August 7th, we'll be right back here again. And our friends over at the Partner Masters, where did I see him? There he's hiding, right there. We'll be coming out and speaking on the changes that are occurring in the CSP. Oh my God, you're right in front of me. What the hell? How long you been there? CSP program, the AI Cloud Partner Program, the changes that are occurring there. Do you know who it's going to be yet? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But they'll be taking us through that in that presentation. And of course, we'll have another great sponsor to speak to you, lunch, networking, thought-provoking comments, biz cards, get it all down and together. That's next meeting. What I would like you to do is stand up and help me recognize the people that volunteer their time to make sure this organization runs. If your name is up on this slide, and ICE, I see you online, stand up and be recognized. This is your board and your committee chairs that make everything happen for you. Thank you so much. Yes, Fred, you too. Yes, thank you. So these are the great people. If you want to get involved, if you like what you see and you want to actually help contribute to the organization, the door is open. So here's the layout of all the different committees, and wherever you see something, where are you interested in contributing? And if you're not a member and you really want to get involved in the nuts and bolts of the organization, somebody told me a long time ago when I was going through a job transition, they said, don't worry about putting out these resumes and all of that. Go down and volunteer at your favorite charity. Get plugged in. Because inevitably, when you are working alongside with somebody, that's when they realize your talent and your character should be pulled into the organization. So this is a great way to get involved. We encourage all of you, reach out. You'll probably see a question on the survey for the Starbucks card at the end of this meeting saying, hey, which of these committees do you want to try getting involved with? Pick one. And one of our chairs will reach out to you or just talk to them after. That could be one of the 3 business cards you're obligated to pick up. Okay, cool. And there's a whole new membership renewal. Now, here's the trick. The cost is going up on July 1 from $250 to $299. But you can renew early before June 30th. And pay only the $250. I'm doing this tomorrow. I'm waiting for like a invoice to be paid. Once that comes in, boom, I'm done. So really easy to do. Go to IAMCP.org, go to Manage Profile. There's the Renew Your Membership Now link, and you can enter in your information. Check that box at the very bottom that says, I forgot what it says, but that's like the auto renewal. And that way you'll always be clued in and you won't have to worry about it next time it comes around. Next July 1. By the way, how many, if you are a member of this organization, stand up and be recognized right now. Stand up if you're a member. Come on. Yes. 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 Okay, stay standing if you've been a member for 3 years or more. If you're a little bit newer, have a seat.
I'm feeling ashamed.
Oh, okay. If you've been a member 5 years or more, remain standing. 7 years or more, remain standing. Ooh. 8 years or more. 9 years or more. 10 years, remain standing.
That's not fair. Justin's gonna win.
Right up there with him. Fred's gonna win this.
No, Justin.
I want you who are standing to give me one phrase as to why you've been a member for 10 years. Tim.
Lunch.
Hey, quickest way to the heart's through the stomach.
Good people.
Beautiful.
Networking.
Beautiful.
Hardnetic.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership. Business.
Eric.
It's getting to, networking, seeing people, and it's
Yeah.
really all good to have this face-to-face transaction.
So in a word, face-to-face. Cool. Great. Thank you all for recognizing. There's a reason why they continue to get out of this organization, because they invest into it. That's how it works, right? Okay. Yes. So, I love being the dumbest person in the room, especially when I can be surrounded by these 4 people. Allow me to bring up to the front of the room a good friend of mine. I work with him, and he's going to introduce the members of our panel. He's recently moved from one organization to the other and successfully transitioned, bringing all his good buddies with him. He's a master at partnering. He's the amazing Reza Palisban.
Welcome, everyone. Today we have an amazing panel, and we're going to talk a lot about cybersecurity. It's been a real journey for me being here in IAMCP, and I've learned a lot about cybersecurity because of this group and some of the people that I met, and it's really helped evolve my career, and I'm really excited to lead this panel. So panelists, why don't you come up and have a seat. David Lynn with Able Advisory Services. Welcome, David. Thanks for being here today. Jason Makovich with Greenlight Cyber. And Mel, who's got some brass knuckles, it looks like, with Elite Technical Concierge.
Get out.
Here, I'll give you this. Here we go. Okay, you got it. Awesome. Okay, so again, welcome everyone. My name is Reza Palisban. I am the new Director of Business Development for the Tech Mavericks. We are a division of the Partner Masters. Who here knows who the Partner Masters are by any chance? Okay. All right. At the Partner Masters, our mission is to empower all Microsoft partners to maximize their Microsoft partnership and to improve their profitability. And at the Tech Mavericks, we are now a division of it. We help deliver those solutions, service delivery on the tech stack. So we actually put our fingers on keyboard. And one of our number one competencies is cybersecurity. So that's been a passion of mine. My passion specifically is around the Zero Trust framework. And my mission is to take that framework and get it across to all partners and all customers. It's a really big aspect of cybersecurity for me. Cybersecurity is not a one size fits all. So today we're going to really spark some real world conversations and talk a lot about partnership and how do we get different perspectives from the amazing amazing group of panelists we have here today, and really get ideas. And we want this to be collaborative. We want to get some questions going on later from this group as far as how we can work together and really make the world more secure. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our panelists. We'll start with Jason. And I want you to just briefly introduce yourselves and tell us why you are so passionate about cybersecurity. Jason, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me okay? Does this work at all? Cool. All right. Good to see a lot of familiar faces. Yeah, so I've had my company for 15 years now, Greenlight Cyber. In fact, I have a few of my colleagues here in the back there. And we're based in Irvine. I was raised with computers. My dad had a computer company, so it's kind of born into it in a way. So I've been doing this for a very long time, professionally since the 90s. I like to say the 1900s. And as far as cybersecurity goes, I mean, you know, I started in IT. I was more of a network engineer by trade originally, but you know, started to learn more and more about cyber, and then it got to kind of a tipping point for us where I think a lot of folks here have experienced where it was we had to make a decision. Kind of an identity decision of who are we, and we chose to go deep with cyber, and in fact rebranded to Greenlight Cyber a couple of years ago. Went and got my CISSP, as did one of my colleagues there in the back, and since then we just have continued to develop and learn. But that's the thing about cybersecurity; it never ends, right? So we have to always stay on top of our education, and a lot of that we do through community.
Awesome. David.
Hello, nice to meet everybody. So thanks to Jason and Reza, I think, for us to be here today. So a little background. I think I've been in cyber pretty much my entire career before I think the word cyber is even there. You know, before the title CISO was even invented. I won't mention what year. I started out crimping RJ45 cables, right? So I did that, the networking background. Then I went to consulting. And since then, I pretty much dealt with Fortune 1000 organizations, right? The common names that you heard of before. And I've been across healthcare, energy, oil, pharma, you name it, I've been to, you know, some banking as well. Now, most places would think, you know, security, IT security, cyber, they all believe we have our own unique problem, but cyber or information security really it's the same problem across. It doesn't matter where you are, everybody needs a password policy, right? Doesn't matter where you are, do you have proper you know, hardening standard, you know, provisioning, right? That is the core of IT security. Now really it's information security. So I made my transition, went to Sony Pictures, spent about a decade there, had lots of fun, dealt with a couple of global breaches, you know, dealt with you know, at the time, LawSec, Anonymous, you know, the hacktivist group, had the fortunate in 2014 dealt with a nation state attack. That was loads of fun too. With a lawyer and some expensive whiskey, I'm happy to tell you the story behind it. You know, I led the recovery back in Sony Pictures actually in 2015. That was actually rebuilding the entire environment. Then I was with a nonprofit organization, build a security team. So really, I've been an operator of cybersecurity for my entire career. I recently started, so not as long as Jason had, with my own business or consulting business, because at the end, I figure this is the only thing I know how to do is security consulting. So I currently have a couple of clients, right, that I'm doing fractional CISO work, really from an overall governance perspective. I've been on both sides as a service provider, as a buyer, and now coming back to the service provider side. I've always, you know, one of the specialty I say is I know how to connect the two sides. I mean, I'm a marriage counselor or mediator, however you want to call it, and really create the right solution for clients. And that's kind of what I do now. So I have lots of partners. I have, you know, MSP, MSSP. And I think something more relevant to this group ultimately is, you know, as a CISO, it's 5,000 vendor. You know, I think Microsoft's got about 40 product alone in security related. How do you put all these pieces together, right? And then in MSP, I won't even mention number because I don't know. How do you get all this together as a CISO? You're in charge of building out the security program. Where do I go? Who do I call? Right. So that's, I think, common, all the things that we're trying to do and provide to the market.
Awesome. Thank you. Your expertise is going to be very valued with some of the questions I have today here, David. And Mel Reyes.
Sorry, I had this as a backup because I didn't realize I was on a panel with long-winded people and I almost fell asleep. Just give me a second. Well, I'm new to cyber. About a year in, I came from underwater basket weaving industry. No, if the fact that the Bald Men Club is true, cyber and IT and enterprise made me lose my hair a long time ago. I'm only 23, by the way, and started consulting back in 1900s, and been through, God, I always try to remember this, 4 startups, 2 IPOs, 3 media agencies, Pepsi, manufacturing, and a partridge in a pear tree. I've seen some phenomenal leaders, and I've seen a whole lot of stupid. I learned a lot from both. And what I do now is, David, I convinced David somehow, I must have something, some pictures on him or something to join me to kind of support ISSA SoCal and all those other efforts to educate and elevate. Still trying to figure out what I want to do to pay the rent and my daughter's bills and stuff, but I do consulting, I do development, and I spent the last year and a half finding a hobby of doing executive coaching, which I was already doing for about 5-6 years anyway. So I develop teams to get shit done. That's what I do.
All right. Well, we've got some experts here today, and I want to delve right into the questions. And David, you brought up the term CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, and it is an important position more and more in corporate America, especially, and as they're typically in charge of all the cybersecurity decision, and it's not necessarily an easy group to sell into. From what I understand, less than a quarter of them report directly to a CEO. So they do have budget decision-making power, but it's kind of a difficult group to sell into, but they're really important to understand. And I want to just turn it to you, David, and tell me, what are some of the concerns that CISOs have today, some of the issues that they're most concerned about, that people who are trying to work with them and get them to convince to buy a solution or a service, how do you address those?
Which vendor takes me to the best steakhouse?
Of
course. Joking. I think, going back to what I mentioned earlier, right? It's as a role as a CISO, I report up to the board, the executive team. Your job is to protect the organization, right? But coming back to it as a technologist, I enjoy the tweaking, the hands-on, right? When I said 5,000 security vendors out there, and imagine a pile of Legos, you need to build a castle together. So if you take that 5,000 pieces of Lego, go to every organization, everyone's castle is going to be different. So how do you know you're building the right castle, right, for the organization?
Is there a picture on the box?
It's you need a clearance. I will share my recipe with you. So the question comes to then, how do I do that as quickly as possible? And I think that's actually a lot of the issues out there is I'm against time and budget. So as much as I love to evaluate the market, I just simply don't have that kind of bandwidth or luxury even. And with every one of your organization, I'm sure there's tons of technologies out there. As I could build a team of 30 or 50 people, which I've had before. I cannot be expert on every technology out of the enterprise. So that's where I think everybody comes in. I go to my preferred vendor. I go to my preferred VAR, MSSP, help me with recommendation, help me with, right? Give me the top 3. I would just evaluate them. I don't have time to go through 10 vendors, right? Starting with an RFI. So the idea is then, when you say difficult to sell, it's actually, from a buyer perspective, and I understand that, is understand what they're trying to solve. From a security perspective, my responsibility is overseeing pretty much every aspect of security, identity management, access control, security event response, vulnerability management, governance, GRC, right? Those are the most common one, awareness and training. Every security program would have those elements, right? Doesn't matter which area you work in, which product set you're partnered with or certified through Microsoft, every one of those areas is a problem for the CISO. So get to know them, help problem solve. Like my experience always, right? The revenue, the money's gonna come if you build the right relationship.
Awesome. Thank you, David. And Mel, do you have something to add to that?
So you and I actually just said this before, and it reiterates what David was saying is what's keeping the CXOs up at night. Find that out first, right? I don't have the right staff. We're not getting alerts in time. We're getting, down over here. We're up over here. We're getting threats. We're getting locked in. And as a service provider, a management provider, an employee or a leader, you have to go in deep in the relationship, right? You can't just sell them something, be like, see ya, I'll wait for the refill and thanks for the invoice, right? You have to go in deep with the relationship so that you can go out to the steak dinner or otherwise and say, what's actually happening, right? Are you actually able to sleep 2-3 nights a week? Or are you on call because you don't have enough people, because you don't have budget, because you don't know how to justify it? How can we help you do that? How can we help you find the teams? If you don't go in deep on the relationships, then you're not really helping them. You're helping yourself to a commission, a check, or a job, or whatever. But you've got to understand where they are having problems. He covered the 8 domains and all the spectrums and everything else, right? And I was just on a webinar this morning talking about the dreaded GRC documentation controls. I'm like, nobody wants that, right? Everybody wants to go, steadfast. Hey, let's implement this. Yeah, but sometimes you need the adult at the table to say, maybe that's not the best next step because this is coming up next, this requirement. And then the other piece that we talked about on the other call is, we all know we're under. You were one of very few people who to report into a senior leader, but knowing where you are positionally, where you are budget wise. Use all the latest litigation, global efforts, all the things that are going to ask for more money, ask to restructure, pull in resources from the other teams, right? Oh, DevOps is over there. Guess what? Give me a person or two, right? Hey, the marketing, give me a person or two just so you do the fucking documentation, right? Just to do, right? So pull in from other groups. And to them, it's great because everybody wants to get into cyber or IT or otherwise. So it's being that kind of resourceful and that kind of working through an organization that isn't going to give you more money, or maybe they will, based on litigation, based on, if you're in finance or other. It's like, well, this is coming down the pike and we don't have people to do this, this XYZ 4.0 framework. Well, we need more people or we need budget. So it's a fight. It's a struggle, finding the right partners. Right, got a room full of them here, right? And getting into the kinds of conversations that can spark from this kind of meeting. That's where it goes.
Yeah, amazing insight. Now, I want to add something from a Microsoft perspective to this discussion on the CISO side, is that they're increasingly under a lot of pressure to empower innovation, productivity, especially around AI. And so cybersecurity has to help govern and protect, but it can't get in the way of getting the job done and increasing profitability and growth. And the key framework to that we've even seen the U.S. government adopt is zero trust. So being able to understand what zero trust is and talking to a CISO and deliver solutions based on that is also very important to them. And then the last thing I want to say from a Microsoft perspective on this is CISOs are massively concerned nowadays about evolving threats. So AI is in the bad guys have it today, right? And so there's a report that I encourage everyone, including the panelists, to look at, which comes out every October, November. It's called the Microsoft Digital Defense Report. It's really important to get, because Microsoft has a huge perspective, right? They basically have all the Fortune 100, Fortune 500, all the major companies, and massive amounts of data to go through, and they synthesize that data and really put it into an awesome view that really educates what's going on and what the emerging threats are. So I'm going to move on, Jason. I'm going to pick on you a little bit. And, you know, as an MSP or as a MSSP, what's the best way to approach your customers to help them with their cybersecurity needs?
I mean, that can vary, of course. You know, I think to Mel's point, like, you got to listen to your clients and understand what's important to them. I think that's number one. But, you know, we have a job to do, which is to make sure that we're doing our best to let those leaders make well-informed decisions, right? Ultimately, I contend that every cyber risk decision is a business decision. It's not a technical decision when it comes to risk management. And every business and every leader has their own risk tolerance, and some companies have more money than others, and you know, some data are more sensitive than others, and some industries are more regulated than others. So you have to deal with kind of lock and key, right? You have to kind of fit everything to what that client needs, but at the same time, to do so as a leader. And so I think it's an opportunity for MSPs, but also CISOs, also just folks that work with business leaders and nonprofits and anything, to be that advisor and to really open up that conversation, ask the right questions. And to Mel's point, then kind of shifting into what's important to them, what are their business goals, and how can we align that? That is governance, truly at its core. It is to align the risk strategy there to the business goals. So it can be different for every scenario, but I think having that mindset is critical as you approach that.
Can I just, one thing, did you hear the beautiful bells that were ringing as he was saying that? Like, spot on, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I have that effect.
You do.
Yeah.
And if I could add to that, I think along with what you just said, unfortunately, I'll say, right? Lots of my own friends, I'll say CISO, executive, CIO, CTO, there's a lot of egos out there. And that's a fact, right? So
Why are you looking at me?
just saying. So you do have to learn, I think, to each one of them, right? Because the job of their role, they actually, you need to learn the lingo, you need to speak their language. Just like if you approach a general counsel, a compliance officer, a CISO, CIO. So for CISOs mostly, I think you mentioned the report, right? There's a couple of them out there that I'll add to it. Annually, Ponemon, it's a research institute. They've been publishing a Ponemon report every year for the last 20. That is almost the Bible of CISO. It tells you annually, every security breach is $4 million, globally, 9 million for US. This is the number that most CISO use to scare the board to get money, right? So learn the language. Every record costs $180 on average, right? So imagine every company you go to, you talk to your customer, you hold student data, you hold customer data, you hold patient data. How many of those records, if you lose, times $180 a record, that's the potential impact. That's the language you learn to speak with, right? N-Trend, Mandiant has a report every year called N-Trend. CrowdStrike has its own report. These are actually some of the good ones out there that a lot of the security professionals utilize. So that's where they get extracted data. That's how they talk to the executive. So learn the language. Now you're in it, speaking the same thing. Now you can start understanding what they're worried about.
Yeah, I recently heard on a podcast, one of the top things you can do as a seller going to a customer is being prepared, no matter what thing you're selling, okay? And specifically around cybersecurity, you're really selling your expertise. And we know it's such a dynamic field. It's always changing. And so studying these reports, and also it was mentioned, like connecting with the customer, understanding their environment, understanding what's going on. Something that we do at the Tech Mavericks extensively is doing an assessment to start that conversation. So assessments are key to understand a customer and then help build a roadmap. And then that roadmap then ends up becoming your sales tool as you go through the process, right? And they've already defined budgets. And so that's something that we're big on. So, all right. Okay, Mel, I'm going to go back to you. And have you had challenges working with security teams, and how do you go about addressing them?
I have never worked with a diva before, no, on the security side. The challenges are plentiful. If in whatever scope, scale, size, whether you're startup, SMB, or enterprise, you said egos, right? That's the first thing that needs to be left at the fucking door. Like, I don't have time for that, right? We're all in this because we may be here for 72 hours. Right. So your ego needs to be left at the door. If you need to wear diapers, just make sure it doesn't stink, but we're going to be here for a while. Right. So when it comes to the challenges in managing the teams, and then how to communicate up and how to fight for them, the biggest challenge that I found is, number one, you can take those reports, throw them into AI, tell it to do a deep search on your company, create a generic report on, the approach and everything else. You could pop in some specifics, and you can fight the fight on the north side for money. But on the south side, I may or may not have said this to someone today in this meeting before it's even started. You have to fight for your team, and you have to tell your team they have to look out for themselves first. Because I will tell you right now, being the victim of fatigue many times over, where my body didn't feel fatigued, my brain didn't feel fatigued, but I basically face planted, right? Your team isn't going to tell you they're tired, right? If they're really in it and they really want to secure and they were going through the logs or they're having fun learning this, that, the other, you have to be the one to fight for your team to say, take a day off. You've been running for a while. Hey, I appreciate it. Can you do me a favor? When we have a slowdown, teach XYZ how to do some of this. Level them up. So the team component around managing is the only survivable skill that I have had to develop for me, because I was the one-man band. I was scrubbing, logging, looking at everything. And guess what? It was not sustainable. So I pulled in an IT guy. Hey, what are you doing Tuesday? How about we set up a regular, like an hour? I'm going to show you some tools. Right? All of a sudden, thank you. You start to use that. He goes, dives in deep. I send him a link to a course, and he's learning cybersecurity. Right? That's at the small startup scale. If I've got, folks globally, if I got a marketing person, again, pull them in. If you're at a mid-sized company, do the same thing. Right? Say, and I would do this all the time, team development. Once a month, twice a month, I would have the second half of Friday is you get to present this week, you get to present next week on whatever topic you want. One is skills building, but also it could be a technical component that they had to research, something new that they wanted to bring, come up with a new project. All these things that every other IT group was doing 20 years ago that we've forgotten because we're so damn fucking busy learning a new tool, integrating a new vendor. All of those team development components, bring them back and force that on your team. It's not an option. I love that you want to work 60 hours, scrubbing logs, doing this, looking at charts, looking at, what DDoS attack impact had on XYZ hardware. Guess what? It's development time. And then the way to do that is to tell them to be selfish. And to me, that's the one big piece that I talk about when I say educate and elevate, is if I can't teach what's in this brain and the scars so you don't go through it again, then I'm not doing my job and I'm not elevating you.
That's an interesting perspective. And Jason, I know you have got some experience on this. Do you have anything to counter that or add to that?
Yeah, I would say, working with security teams, we have a security team. We are one, right? So I guess in a sense, but we do work with others, whether it's a client or more often a partner. And just like any collaboration, I think it's just a matter of building out the rapport and the relationship. But I think when it comes to security in particular, and kind of how one leads a security team, you know, you obviously want the best people in the right seats, and then you get the hell out of the way and you let them do what they need to do, because I've seen it too many times. I've been guilty of it myself, but you got to have good people you can trust.
Love it. I want to take a moment and see if there's any questions from the audience. Love to kind of open it up. We have what, about 5 minutes left?
One quick add to Jason.
Yeah, go
Right?
for
I
it.
think for those MSPs or even MSPs out there, you know, coming from the internal security side, I may not be able to hire headcount, and I think most of you probably know, especially today's market, it's hard to get approval to hire. But I always have disposable budget for contracts, so for advisory, for consulting. So this is where, from an MSP perspective, you have the relationship. Make sure your customer client knows, hey, my team, or I am really good at something, right? I got the network engineer. I have the incident responder. I have this. And when I am desperate, I can't get a headcount, I'm going to go allocate a budget. I need 6 months, 3 months, right? And that way, you're now actually learning the environment, and you never know when the actual, you know, financial situation changes. It might turn into full time, and then it might turn into, right, from there you understand the environment, you actually then able to really understand their environmental challenge and issues.
One last piggyback off that. Even if it doesn't work out for you, you've got a network where they're like, oh, you need an underwater basket weaving mechanic. I don't do that, but I know Jason does that. Let me introduce you to Jason. Build those relationships. It's if you're not doing that right here, everybody in here should be linked in with each other by the end of today. Screw the 3 cards. I appreciate that. But I'm like, everybody in here, you better like start having your barcode link in, get into a conversation after this. Because if you're not, you're missing out on an opportunity where somebody might like, hey, I know so-and-so was looking at this. Let me go back to them. So to that, a vendor relationship isn't an invoice. It's how do I help you? Here's a report. You know, let me know if you need any other help. Right. If anybody's ever linked in with me or any seen my messages, I have a canned end to response when you connect. Let me know how it can be of any help. Right. That's the mindset you need to take, because we're always selling something. Right. We're selling a friendship, a relationship, a product, a service. So might as well just like here for free.
Be more than just a vendor.
Amen.
Be an extension of their team and be a partner. And that's what this group is about, right? IAMCP is about partnerships, about really understanding your customers and their business. And it's not just about cybersecurity. It's about empowering them to do better in their environment so that their business can be successful. So I want to turn it back over to the audience. We've heard from the panelists. I'd love to hear some questions. I see David with his hands up in the back. Go ahead.
Thanks, Reza, for bringing up the point of how to sell this. So I think that's very important. I want to skip all the sales and partnering and all that sort of stuff and concentrate on cybersecurity. So, you know, whatever we were doing, you know, 2 years ago, standard business practice, we got SOC and SIM and SIEM and incident response, all that sort of stuff. And we're all doing a great job in our MSP. What do we need to be looking out for as the next thing that no one is talking about in our industry in the next year? What's the next thing that we need to bring into our internal stack to protect our customers? Not compliance.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah.
Two-letter word.
Two-letter word? AI? Well, yeah, I mean, look, you're going to want to obviously stay on top of AI and keep a pulse on it. More specifically, we have found more emerging technologies that are kind of changing, transforming the way you're delivering technology to your clients. You know, creating kind of putting an infrastructure in place where it kind of disappeared when our clients moved to the cloud and SaaS. So what we've done is focused on kind of more of the enterprise browser type of access, which gives you that opportunity. So that's one area. Be happy to talk to you more about that. But yeah, there are many areas, but you got to really think about, you know, everything's different now. You know, a lot of companies are doing BYOD. Everyone's moved to SaaS. BYOD, I always call it, bring your own disaster, right? But if you delineate the IT environment, before the endpoint, and the endpoint isn't really part of it, maybe there are ways to do that. VDI is designed to be kind of a solution for that, right? So there's a lot of ways you can go about it, but rethinking, I think, is important. The mistake I think most companies and MSPs are making, and we went down this path ourselves for a bit, is just continuing to add and add all these Band-Aids, all these different cybersecurity products. It's untenable. I mean, our teams can't keep up with it. How we got to pass that cost on to our clients, and it's never ending. And you get to a point where you realize, I can re-architect the environments with zero trust principles. I can simplify things and reduce the attack surface and deliver a much more secure operating environment to the business. So, and that's where the enterprise browser technology has helped us a lot with that.
Well, I really appreciate it. Now we're out of time. So I just want to thank our panelists. Wonderful job. And thank you, audience, for your.
Thank you, Reza, for moderating. We appreciate it. Stress man. Okay.
Under my button, so I wouldn't.
Okay. So here's a moment where we're actually going to cut this group into two, but it's okay. Members, we're going to ask you to stay here in the room. We're going to go around and do our 20-second introductions. Our guests, who's this man in the blue standing up? He's our fabulous BJ Pote, owner of eTop Technology and Lextop, Zetentop. Yep. And so he's our membership chair. So we'd like all of our guests, come meet BJ. We'll just have you out here in the hallway. He'll give you the short sales pitch, and then you're welcome to come back on in because we've got the raffle, the survey. Somebody's going to win a Starbucks gift card. Whoa. The rest of us are going to go around. Now, I know there's some people online. Ron had to take off, but I see Miguel. I see Utia. I see Dave. I see Ice. There might be some others that are here. So let's do our 20-second introductions first. Guests, please join BJ.
Yes, right out here.
And we'll start with Miguel. Got your ears on, Miguel? Got your mute off? I don't think he does. Let's keep going. Utia. Hitch. How you doing, man?
Good. Can you hear me there?
Yes, sir, we can.
All right. I am actually feeling left out. Seems like you guys having a party there. And I'm all boring here at my desk. So Miguel with IT System Solutions. We're based in Los Angeles. We are in some sort of transition. We are an IT company, but we are towards being a MSP. And we do tech support here in Los Angeles. We also do a low voltage. We've been in business for about 10 years now, and we love it. We became members on 2020 while the pandemic, and we are enjoying the connections and the resources that we get from IAMCP. And I'm happy to be here. It's been a while, actually, so thank you much for having me.
Hey, thanks, Miguel. Make sure you drop your contact information in your LinkedIn page into the meeting chat. Pitch, you're up, and then we're coming here to the room.
Got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. I'm Pitch. I work for Proactive BDA national sponsor. I'm more known as a super connector. So anything you need, just call me. If you have somebody with a dying Nortel dinosaur, I have somebody for you. I'll drop in my contact, and I am a member. Thank you.
Yes, you are, and a strong one at that. Thank you, Pitch. Come into the room.
Hi. Yeah, my name is Ashok Pai, unusual name, although we have a great Ashok here, who's the great Ashok. I'm just a small one. And, And I retired as a vice president of cybersecurity for US Bank. I started with Union Bank, and just 3 years I was there because it requires 3 years to retire to get pension. So, but in those 3 years, Union Bank became US Bank. So even before that, I worked in cybersecurity for a long time. And after retiring, I've done several AI certifications. So I'm an AI consultant now. And I'm very concerned about the how AI is affecting cybersecurity now. That's a good question that David asked. And so, one thing I want to mention is I worked for Microsoft for 3 years, and I had the good fortune of working with Bill Gates personally across the table, because I was in his pet project, which was putting movies on SharePoint. Because I worked at Disney Studios before and developed digital distribution. So then Bill Gates hired me for SharePoint. So after that, I worked in cybersecurity and retired. And then now I'm doing AI consulting.
Thank you. Yeah, pass the mic over to her. David Glendenning, are you online?
I am. How are you?
Doing great.
So hi there, everybody. Dave Glendenning. I'm a member of the San Diego chapter and been in IAMCP quite a few years. I love it. I love reaching out to you guys in Orange County and SoCal. I am in the telecom space primarily. We mostly do telecom audits, and we help companies figure out what they've got and how they're spending it. We can install circuits. We do a lot of voice over IP, and I've become kind of an expert in Teams voice. If anybody ever needs any help in that area, I'm really good at that and love to help you. Thanks.
Thank you, David, America's finest city. Glad to see our San Diego comrades.
I'm very tall, so hi everyone. My name is Taylor. I am a recent grad of Cal State Fullerton. I just finished my double major in both computer science and business with a concentration in decision sciences. Say that 5 times fast. Yes. And thank you. Yes. Long time coming along, 6 years, which was really good. So now I'm just enjoying my summer for once, not knowing what to do with my time. So I'm just finishing up a few student assistant positions at school where I give tours, and then I work in IT as well. We're working on, it's really interesting to see the university take on some AI stuff. So I've been working alongside with that, implementing some projects that way. So really nice to see this space again. I know I'm fresh meat, so it's really nice to be among all of you. And thank you for letting me be here again.
Our pleasure. I can see Ice, you're online, but your mic isn't working. Big shout out to Ice. She is our treasurer. She keeps all the money working here, so thanks to her. Please. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's in Belize. That's a good excuse for mic not working. Go ahead and please drop your contact information into chat, Ice, and we'll turn it over to Feli.
Hey guys, good morning, Feli Michaka. So I'm part of the Bold Club as well. So we all hang out in the same styling shop. I'm with Managed Solution. We're a service provider, IT company. My passion in cybersecurity. Also, my passion is on giving back community. So in fact, we have a few students here today. Taylor is one of them. The rest of the team is with the other room. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. And again, let's get back and empower.
And before you pick up over there, here's the man who's making everything work behind the scenes.
Hello, everyone. Ashok Patel. I'm the operations chair of the chapter, and I'm also with the Tech Mavericks, and that's where we help our partners grow their business and provide them services that they can also provide to their clients.
Hi, Ron Mednick, Tech Pro. We provide MSP and MSP solutions in media entertainment space. My one tip to everybody, if you're not using AI, you have to start yesterday. It's changing the way we're doing business, the way our clients are doing business. On the security sides, the conversation before, engineers can be much more efficient with that tool. Even existing engineers, they can start coding without knowing one line of code. So definitely need to look at that.
Thank you, Ron.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for inviting me, Jason.
John Washington here with AvPoint. I've been in IAMCP for about a year now, actually. So yeah, definitely great to be out here again today. So AvPoint is a data security company. So we provide services with migration, backup, data management, and we've definitely been riding the Copilot wave here recently. So if there's any questions around that, here definitely to continue building relationships and definitely just help as much as possible. And I know there's a lot of bright, very intelligent people in here. I'm also with you, Jason, where there's a lot of smarter people in the room. So I would love to just connect and learn.
My name is Kate Bershaska. I'm new member here, and I have a small consulting company. We oriented for business process in small company and especially startups. And more, I'm still open for any proposition for interest in an ambition company. You'll be pretty happy. And plans for summer vacation. Unfortunately, this summer I will have no vacation for sure. I'm more business oriented person in this summer. So that's it about me. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
I'm Tim Martin with Treaty Software. We're a custom software development shop based in the beautiful town of Limerick in Ireland, where everybody speaks in 5-letter words. Vacation plans, I'm going to go somewhere, but I'm not sure where yet. I have to check with Reza where he's gone. It's kind of crazy.
Before we move on, you almost slipped away.
My name is Ben Doherty. I'm a guest currently in between jobs. So my plans for the summer are to continue job hunting, and I was here as a guest for networking opportunities.
Hi, Jason. We met over email. Cool. There it goes.
Hi, I'm Krista Hollingsworth. I'm a fractional chief revenue officer, and I also work with Tim at Treaty Software, and we help MSPs help their clients manage their technical and eliminate their technical debt. So, Krista Hollingsworth, thank you.
Hey, I'm Jared Bear. I think we're all going to go to Limerick. That should be our summer plans. Go hang out with Tim. What could go wrong? Nothing could go wrong with Tim. My company is Broadbear. We are mostly infrastructure companies, so cabling, cameras, access control, Teams rooms, Zoom rooms, audio, video, visitor management. Work with a bunch of people in here, including our fine friend over here, Darren. And I'm also on the learning committee. So as Jason mentioned, if you have any questions or anything, you could always reach out. Thanks.
Darren Somo again. I think you heard enough from me today, so I'm just going to pass it along, but no big summer plans for me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cyrus Tabijani. I'm an IT technical support professional focusing on network operating system, database administration with more than 10 years of experience. Right now, I'm in transition and looking for a job opportunity.
Who's next?
Let's go over there.
I'm a guess. You can still speak.
Say hi. Come on, say hi.
Hi, I'm Danny Enuma, Brian's son. I'm a Business Central project manager looking for my next gig and plans for summer vacation. My wife and I just had our first child, so Brian just became a grandpa in March. Oh, yeah. So I think that's what I'll be doing this summer. Thank you so much.
And before we move on,
my name is Luis Mier. I'm an entrepreneur here in Orange County, based out of basically Santa Ana. I cater to the Hispanic community, but something I was invited by Feli, something that we want to get this information out to the Hispanic community for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
David Lewis, Performance Consulting. We're an MSP in Tustin. I didn't know we're doing the vacation thing again. So that seems to be every year around this time. I'm going to Montreal for the Grand Prix next weekend. So that's my summer vacation.
David Lin, I'm a fractional CISO. So I'm a one-man shop, so I'm always looking for the right MSP to partner up. As I said, I have clients. I help them structure the security program, but I cannot deliver, execute. So this is where we talked about earlier. How do we partner up?
Let's talk.
Fred Cooper, I work with an MSP. Funny how that works. I'm trying not to hump his leg right now, so I'm close, but not too close. So Effortless Office is my day job. We help businesses that don't have enough IT staff. We can be their IT department. We also pay 20% residuals for closed deals. So this can be a good moneymaker for you. So 20% of monthly spend goes in your pocket. So, and it's all legit. It's not like a pyramid scam. It's just we sell through partners and that's how it works. But I'm very involved in several nonprofits. Ronald McDonald House, Pediatric Cancer Research. Let me know if you want to pour beer, give out ice cream, do some sort of fun thing, give back. It is a good place to meet people. Maybe you can find opportunities. Chat with me. And we've got extra cookies back here. That came from another nonprofit that I'm helping out. So if people need cookies and want to do a fundraiser, talk to me about that as well. And I like to do lunch, hard to believe. So if we've not done lunch, reach out and let's connect.
Don't let us hold you back. Hump away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eric Klaus. I am the past president of IAMCP SoCal. I am the past vice president of IAMCP Americas. Those are all my IAMCP jobs, or at least the ones most recent. I am today the director of our Microsoft practice for Neoteric 365, where we are a bespoke AI solutions partner focusing on specifically very much on Microsoft AI solutions for clients. So for example, we're doing a project right now where we're working with a large hospitality organization around their cancellation reconciliation processes and bringing an AI component to that. So if you have clients that are interested in AI, happy to chat with you.
Somebody once told me never give a past president the microphone. Could be there a while.
Yeah, Jason Makovich. I introduced myself earlier, but I will mention I'm also on the board for a nonprofit called Secure the Village. And if anyone's interested in learning more about it, it's really wonderful. It's a Southern California group, all based around cybersecurity. We donate a lot of time towards educational awareness for nonprofits and small businesses in the community. And yeah, really open to talking to anybody that might have any interest in learning more. We also have a MSP security peer group that's part of Secure the Village that I put my MSP through, and it's extremely valuable. So anyone that has an MSP that wants to skill up, we've partnered with Center for Internet Security, CIS, and it's a really valuable program. So yeah, come talk to me if you're interested. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Stipe. I was actually invited by Fred. Me and my family recently relocated from Seattle to San Diego, very involved in this community in Seattle. And so I'm looking to get reconnected here in the SoCal area. And Fred mentioned that this community is a little bit bigger than the one in San Diego. I've got some pretty fun plans this summer. My daughter is going to be a senior at Chapman, and she's studying abroad in Korea. And I'm going to meet her in Japan for 10 days. She wants to tool around there. So that's my plans for the summer.
Hello, everyone. My name is Koda Cole. I teach at Santa Monica College. I teach primarily in cloud and cybersecurity. I have some students here from Santa Monica College as well. Was invited by Feli, and I'm always here with the invitation and always on the lookout for apprenticeship, mentorships, and maybe internship opportunities for our students. Thank you.
And before we move on, I wanted to actually recognize there's a bunch of students here, and we almost missed you guys, so would you mind introducing yourselves?
It's Raquel Cruz. I'm a computer science student with a cybersecurity focus. I go to Cal State Fullerton, and I am a guest. My plans for summer vacation are to get my CompTIA certification and also to spend a lot of time roller skating. All right. Should I stand up or not?
Yeah. What the heck?
All right.
So, hi everyone. My name is Ivy Chan, and I'm a student. I'm a graduate student at Cal State Fullerton, and currently focusing on cybersecurity. I'm a guest here, invited by Felly. Thank you so much. And my plans for summer vacation. I'm currently looking for internship. And if I cannot get an internship like successfully, I will preparing my CompTIA CSAT Plus. And also I'm currently doing cybersecurity research. So I would probably focusing on my research too.
So it seems like we have an upcoming panel of students here. Again, this little row is Cal State Fullerton. Thank you, Felly, for inviting us to this. This is a very interesting opportunity. More importantly, I am David G. So we technically are the cybersecurity team. It's not directly official, but if you have any more or need any more information for anything regarding CS2F from the cybersecurity department, come to us. Another thing is a little bit interesting fact. We work with Disney. And so I was actually developing a project for Disney, directly part of that team. So if you want to hear any interesting Disney lore or any of the above and any drama that came from that project, come talk to me. Aside from that, thank you.
Aren't they turning him into a big animatronic? That should be interesting. Oh, here you are. Go ahead, Ben.
Hi, my name is Benjamin. I'm a student at Santa Monica College. Came here with Professor Cole. I'm a guest. My plans for summer vacation are to work on a few different cybersecurity certifications and to go visit my friend in Australia who's getting married in Brisbane.
Hi everyone, my name is Grace. I'm also a student at Santa Monica College studying cognitive science, and I'm here because I got invited by my friend, and I'm interested in the UI UX industry.
Hey everyone, my name is Evan. My role is a CS student at this probably top one school called SMC, Santa Monica College. I'm a guest, and my plan for summer vacation, probably I just finish my math classes, do some lead code, maybe look for an internship, work on my, I'm also working on an ERP for my parent, and maybe become like an underwater ceramic technician to get some money.
Hello, my name is John Lukubos. I am a CSIS tutor at Santa Monica College, but I'm also a student over there. So I am a guest. I was invited here by one of my friends, but over the summer, I plan to work on some cybersecurity. One of my major focuses is mostly in game development, and I'm currently also working to create games under Unreal Engine. So if anyone's interested in talking about anti-cheats and all that, you could probably talk to me.
How's everybody doing? I'm Alex Franco. I'm with the Partner Masters, works alongside with Reza and Ashok over there and Justin. So at the Partner Masters, we pretty much, help all the partners, navigate their partnership and maximize on incentives, on funding, and just pretty much if it falls within the Microsoft partnership, we're here to help. So we've got to be here.
Hi, my name is Fred Babai. My business name is B2B Sales Accelerator. We provide sales training and coaching to organizations that are looking to scale and grow their business. My partner is Gallup certified coach. So with her coaching and my strategy in go-to-market, we provide level of scale and growth to really increase your revenue in your business. Summer vacation, planning to go to South Carolina. So that's my plan. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Manish, and it's been 12 years in IAMCP, so it's been great to see a lot of members are still here. In terms of business, data and AI is the focus, and I'm working on an agentic AI. So Amy is the name of the product. It's an AI-based project manager. So if you're looking to get some time out of your day, then hire Amy and let me know. Thank you.
I'm Lawson David from UB Technology Innovations. We are a custom software development team here in India. We are a Microsoft solution partner with 3 different disciplines, and we are also Microsoft Fabric featured partner. We are in Anaheim.
We did mention not to give it to past presidents, right? Ladies and gentlemen, our founding president.
I'm Justin Slagle. Nice to meet you all. So many great new faces. It's great to see all of you, and great to see this legacy continue to college students, and excited to see you all here and studying great things. Justin Slagle with the Partner Masters, 16 years into the IAMCP. And my plans, I will be at Disneyland pretty much all summer. So I hope to see you all there.
Great. And I'm Jason Price. I'm one of your directors at large for the chapter here. I'm the CEO of Aston Price. We deliver adoption and change management for Copilot AI. I think that's everybody. Let's just advance the slide. Do we miss anyone? Anyone online?
There's people online.
Steve Tanner.
Wow, Steve Tanner is back.
Steve Tanner.
Checking in from Iceland.
He was in Iceland, or
I think Steve's in Iceland, so let's give him a little bit of leeway here.
Oh, what happened? Is my audio not working?
It's really hard to hear you, Steve.
Well, I am a little ways away. Well, anyhow, wishing everybody well. This is Iceland, a very famous waterfall called Gullfoss, something we saw today. Can you hear me better now, or is it still?
Jason, just introduce him.
Yeah, I wish I knew his title and his company, but Steve's another one of our past presidents. He is business development for a VoIP company locally. I'm so sorry, Steve. I'm not doing you justice.
No worries. Well, thanks, everybody. Good to see you. Thumbs up.
Take lots of pictures while you're there, man. Thanks for calling in. Okay.
Have fun.
Now we can write off the trip.
All right, what's left? Our survey. So yes, I've been throwing a lot of QR codes at you. I have one more. You're going to want to do this one because it's the free Starbucks card. So it's going to take you to our survey form, which will ask you a couple questions about the meeting, any of the committees you might want to get involved with.
membership.
Bing, bing, bing. That's right. Membership. And then once everybody's filled that out, we'll insert you into the wheel of death. Oh, no, sorry. That's that Squid Game thing. No, we're going to put you on the wheel.
Wheel of Wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, Steve, we can hear you. You want to try
my
it?
My audio's back.
Yay.
Yes, I was doing this from a speakerphone instead of my microphone. So sorry, guys. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, it's like I'm almost there. Perfect. Well, through the miracle of good Wi-Fi here in Iceland, I am checking in from the Golden Circle. For those of you that might not be aware, it's about a day trip from Reykjavik. However, we're on day one of 8 more days of travel here. This is the beginning of an 8-week, or we're beginning 8 weeks of 10. My wife is behind me, but she doesn't want to be on camera, but she wishes everybody well. So look forward to getting back to LA and sharing some stories. But the scene behind me is a very famous waterfall called Gullfoss. So for those that get a chance to come out here, you can do it as a layover. You could spend a week, spend a couple days, do whatever you wish. But wish everybody well. Look forward to seeing you when I get back.
Thank you, Steve. Good to see you. Stay warm, buddy.
I am. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We're going to pull up the wheel of death.
Wait, we're not ready yet.
No, not yet.
We're listening to.
Doon, 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 doon. Doon, 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 doon. Doo, 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 doon, 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 doon. Doo, 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 doo. That's That's the one.
I didn't share my summer plans. I forgot.
Oh, yeah, go ahead,
Share
Krista.
While everybody's doing that.
It'll be good.
It's not,
Oh.
actually. My husband is in the orchestra at the pageant of the masters. So usually I see it about 5 times. So it starts. So if you guys want to go, let me know, because you can picnic and stuff there and get a little discount on the tickets. And so that's what I'm doing. And then in the fall, I'm going to Italy. With a friend.
Where?
Italy makes it extra fancy. We're gonna go to Venice and Tuscany, and I'm going with a friend, and we're gonna cook. We're going on a cooking tour mostly. So
Bella, 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 bella.
I'm excited. Yeah, we're gonna cook. We're gonna eat Italy.
Okay. Last call. We got 17 responses to our survey. Who's still working on it?
Oh, I'm good. You can go.
Free coffee. Okay. Let's 3 or 4 minutes. I got to stall more. Let's see. What else do we have after this? Oh, yes, of course. You're probably holding in your hand a card. So for those of you who are guests that haven't seen this before, this card entitles you to a special group. It breaks us into 4s so that anyone who has an ace will meet with me up here by the podium. Anybody who has a deuce will meet with, who's got the deuces? Niche, you got a deuce? A 2 card?
Meet by the bathroom. It's a 2.
Not that deuce. So basically we're going to all break into small groups. So you have an opportunity to actually meet some of these other people. There you go. There's your deuce, right? And there are 3 other people in the group with you. There's 3 business cards right there, 3 LinkedIn profiles, right, Mel? To check them off. Okay, so Manish is our deuce. Who's our trace? Fred Cooper. Who's our quats?
Here. 4.
And Eric Klaus is 4. Are you spinning?
Yeah. We know when you're ready.
Okay. Who's number 5? BJ. Number 6.
6.
Fred up here. Number 7. Belly. Number 8.
Reza.
Oh, Reza. There you go. Number 9. Ashok and a 10. No 10s.
We have 9 groups. We have 10 groups including the ace.
10 groups and the ace. All right, let's give the wheel of death a spin. Who's going to walk away with coffee? And who's not going to walk away?
One day.
Who is it? It is David Lewis. Boom, boom, boom. See, it was worth hanging out.
You're welcome. No, you can take it. Your idea.
Terrific. Yeah, come on up here, get your card, and let's break into our groups. Thank you so much for joining us here. We'll see you back again Thursday, August 7th, this very same room. Reach out if you got any questions. Always a pleasure. Adieu.
See you in a couple of weeks.
You want to take a group picture? I'm almost
Yes.
Where's that slideshow? There we go. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, last call. Photo op up here.
All right. Parent game. Because it was confusing. Sorry. Anybody at 3? Well, you're 5? Oh, 6. I got 5. How's it going, sir? Long time no see. Fred. 4. I for a picture. Get done. There we go. I'm out. Next thing. You
need me to go south first.
I think that's it. Take the picture first.
Photo op, quick photo op to the front of the room. Front of the room. Come on.
large sense of agriculture, so I could get the tax deduction on the property, so my, I guess my property tax. I could extend it down. Yeah, large sense. Doing a picture. Yes, we're doing. Things are breaking. The picture, guys. Picture. Come on up front. My daughter went to. Picture. I love the time. Yeah. They make the connection. Yeah. Come down and see you. Yeah, I left. I like the picture. I turned around and I'm like, oh, there you are. I have to go give my gift card. Where's my gift card?
No, that I'm.
It's broken. That's how one guy says.
You're going somewhere fancy, because you got.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I worked with, Microsoft here. Yeah. Guys taking a picture? No. Oh, goodness. Picture. Feel like it's sitting there. You had a Microsoft. Yes. One of them. Short people in front. What do you think I'm here? There we go. Oh, picture. Head on. Come on. Come on, Sean. Come on. I can stand. Actually, picture. Running from the law. So yeah, he told his wife.
On three. 1, 2, 3.